Hello and welcome back to Court Farm. Right, as you can see, we are again carrying on from where we left off in the last episode. We did end September in the last episode, and we still have this contract to get done. I will confirm all of that in just a moment. As you can see, everything is growing as well. We have our linseed up here, canola and rye. It's all looking very, very good. Now, let's have a look here. So we are 20% completed on the contract. Now, oh right, we've got weeds in those 3 fields, so we will tend to that as well. I just want to check. So this grass here, it is ready to harvest, meaning that it's a good thing we did fertilize it at the very end of the last episode. Now, 32 is our contract contract field, so we'll get that started. As I said, I am okay allowing a helper to get on with that, because we have to move on to our Massey, and we're going to start liming the new area. So that is to say, our future alfalfa crop. So we'll head down here to get our, turn all lights on. We did get up nice and early here at 7, so that we could ensure getting as much done as we can in this month. Now, I can't remember exactly how much lime we have left in here, but we'll find out in a second. Right, there we are. Oh, we've got loads in, so it should be enough to deal with this particular area. I will put the weight on. It just don't want to destroy any crop. I think it's a bit too soon to destroy any crop anyways, so it is the perfect opportunity to get in there with a weeder, which we do not have, but we can lease it, which would be a good idea. We did pay a leasing cost as well this morning for the wrapper that's just in front of us there. So that is what we'll be using to wrap the bales in that field there for the contract. So I figure for the £160 it was to pay it for another day, might as well use it to make £15,000. Now we will, right, so there is one thing I've just remembered we need to do, and that is purchase some soil information. We have none for this field. That is unfortunate, because we have already paid that is more than it was before. Why? I wonder why that would be. I should have bought it in the episode before, but I had no idea that the price would increase. Right, well that does change things then. We will have to go to the shop and lease out the Isaria Scout. That does put us back a little bit as well. That's a bit frustrating. Not terribly. What we'll do is, the helper's getting on very well. You know what we'll do then? We will get in there and start baling, because the shop doesn't even open until 8 o'clock anyways. So, and we have rain on the way. Right, it's just every little thing is happening all at once. And again, we are at 3 times, so that means that when we do have less on, we can, set it at 5 times, perhaps, would be the best option. Now, we are going to get one. Oh no, this is perfect. This is a grass bale, so that is absolutely perfect. Right, so we will not I wonder why that's more expensive now. Maybe because there are more samples. Okay, so maybe it wasn't a bad thing that we did the soil sampling before. Yeah, because it was 1200 something, if I do remember correctly, so that is interesting. Okay, well, when is the rain meant to arrive? 8. Right, so that's a good time to head to the shop then, I suppose. So what we'll do, and that will be our first opportunity, I reckon, to test out the mud mod, see how it works in the field. Because we do not want to get stuck in the field, but it should work out alright. So we do have to go to the shop and get a weeder, so we might as well do both of those at once when the time comes, so very soon. But we will try and get as much baling done as we can to get this contract along. Now I'm not too worried about the helper cracking on with the windrowing in the rain, because these are silage bales and it'll dry out, I'm certain, by the time we need to pick them up or get them wrapped. So it should be absolutely fine. We will ensure that they are still at 150, and I will reset the, there we go, reset the counter. I like doing that every time, just so it gives us an idea of how many bales per specific area we have. Because we did a load, if you remember or saw the last episode, we did a plethora of baling and loading and wrapping and all that. The wrapping and loading was all in one, but it was interesting to say the very least. Alright, we do need to have that exit out. There we go, drop the bale. Yeah, that particular wrapper, when you are loading after wrapping without taking it off of the wrapper, it can be a bit interesting, again, to say the least. What I'd like to try and do this time is I will lease out an auto stacking device for the baling. I think that's just the best thing for us for this particular situation, because then we should, I don't know how many bales we'll get, but you know what, let's try and have a crack at guessing that. That's 2 there. Maybe that's 2 per row. I'm going to say about 20. Between 20 and 24, I reckon. I should just say 22, I suppose, at that point. Right, so the helper's really getting some rows in, hey? We'll just, yeah, have to sneak through some of these hedges, I reckon. Right. Well, we will crack on with the baling. We'll get as much of it as we can done. I suppose we'll be interrupted here when we arrive close to the helper, because they're only going so fast. What we'll end up doing, so just to give you an idea of the whole plan for the episode, we have to finish up this particular, sorry about the the clearing of the throat, and that is a bit of a hoarse throat today, as it were, so apologies for that. Been drinking my tea, so it should go away. Hopefully. Maybe I'm just rambling too much. Anyways, we will crack on with the baling until we can't, and then we'll go to the shop. We will collect our scout so that we can get the soil information for our future alfalfa field, and we will get a weeder as well for the other fields that we currently have in that need to be weeded. Now here's something I'm not too certain about, and that is whether or not the alfalfa will produce weeds in, or if it's enough like grass where it will not. I'm going to take a guess and say that it will not produce any weeds. That's more of a hope, because we don't want to have the weeder for more than we need, and also I just don't want to have to lease it once again. In the future we will buy one, absolutely, it will be very useful, but until then we'll just have to lease what we can. So we will get one or 1.5 rows here done in a quick time lapse, and then we can make our way to the shop. Alright, we're just arriving at the shop now, and we will get some items on lease. 2 items, one will be a weeder and one will be the Iseria Scout. Now, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this to times 10 just to see what happens, because I think when we get the weeding done, which I think we can do in the rain, it should be fine, and get the scouting done, if you will, which we can also do in the rain, then by that time we can crack on with the other tasks that we can't do in the rain. We will check the sales, as you do. That is very nice. Potentially a future upgrade, but not even close to right now. Let's go over to... Well, first we get the scout, because we know we need that first thing. Right, there it is. And it is frustrating. I mean, I'm fine, actually. I'm not upset that I didn't lease it before. But 867 versus 2,000 something is a big difference. So we'll lease that. Happy days. We'll head over to weeders. I don't think we have any modded ones. We'll just get the very basic 12 kph, but at least it is 6 meters, so at least that for 484. That's very inexpensive. So really, we haven't paid all that much for all these for these 2 bits of kit. Alright, so we'll put that on the front, we'll put the weeder on the back. As you can see, of course, it is now fully raining, and this is our first time, I think, experiencing some rain on Core Farm. And we do have the mud mod enabled, so we will see if that causes us any troubles. We might be back at the shop for a tow bar before we know it, but hopefully not, but we shall see. Should probably invest in some sort of washer as well for the tractors. It's looking quite filthy, the Massey is, but we will get it cleaned up soon enough. Right, we'll head back to the farm and get some soil sampled. Alright, here we are, back at our brand new field. As you can see in the distance there as well, the helper is cracking on very well indeed. So we do have our PDA open there. As you can also see, I have dropped the times down to times 5. I found that times 10 is very, very fast. I didn't mean to speed time through that much, especially on this series. I really, really want to try to not do any sort of... Alright, one thing at a time here. Right. Fantastic. I don't want to do any sort of time skipping or anything like that. I really want to take advantage of doing contracts when we have time or something like that. Oh, I really hope that doing the other field here doesn't affect anything negatively, but I guess we'll find out. Should be fine. Reanalyzing those areas. Hopefully that's alright. Nevertheless, we are now analyzing our soil, and it really is going to be like 4 or 5 samples, which is very little. Right, here we can actually move over a bit, but I will get all of the areas. I won't miss any bits. Actually, here what we'll do is we'll get this corner first. There we are, and then we'll get that small section afterwards. So I'll very quickly get this done, cheeky time lapse perhaps, and then we can start weeding. Right, and we are done sampling soil. That was very quick and very efficient, and I think we've got all the bits that we need. So what we'll do now is, I can't think of another area that we would need to do this. That little corner in the corner there, I don't think I will do. So I might just send these samples away to the lab. So I'll get them soil samples analysed. Should come back any second here. In the meantime, I will just tuck this away. There we are, £300 on top of the 870 or something. So that's all right, better than £2,000. Right, let's have a look at our current soil. Right, so this is kind of what I was a bit worried about, is that it was going to be very similar to the silty clay of down here. But, well, let's hop out actually and have a look at it. Right, so nitrogen's bad, pH is bad. I don't know what I was expecting, but we will lime this field now. Well, once the rain has ceased, we will put the times back to times 3, and we'll get that all dealt with. Now, before we crack on, I want to ensure... Right, so in the future, with any future fields that we purchase, it won't require us to purchase or rent or lease the Isaria Scout, because, for example, with 36... which I'm very much so leaning towards actually as our new field in the future, because it is 84,000. It has good soil as well. We can just purchase directly, which is fantastic, and it'll just get that area, so very nice. Right, we'll get this returned, and we'll get started on the weeding. Alright, so we're in our linseed field. We'll just lower it down. Do we have to turn it on? No, I suppose we just drive, hey? Now, I don't normally use weeders. I tend to just use herbicide whenever we need to. But it would seem that it's a fairly simple and straightforward thing Although, what's happening to my grass there? It's destroying it for some reason. Luckily that's not part of our field. That would be awful. Why is that happening? Interesting. I didn't know that a weeder would destroy the grass like that. Again, it's fine. But let's have a look here and see what's going on. So the weeds... Oh no. What's happening here? From the looks of it, the weeds have not gone anywhere. Oh, we require a hoe as well. That is extremely frustrating. I feel as though a bit ripped off with this purchase, or lease even, because one, there's still weeds in the field, and two, it's telling me I need to weed again. You having a laugh? Let's try this again here. So if we go over this area... Okay, so it's gotten rid of some of the weeds, but I don't understand. That is extremely frustrating. I can't see myself wanting to even bother doing this if it's what a waste. I'm a bit surprised at that. Okay, so it says that we also need a hoe to get rid of medium weeds. Well, I was under the impression that if you got rid of the weeds in the first growing stages with a weeder, then there would be no weeds in. So I must have missed something. I must be doing something incorrectly. I don't think I'm going to faff about with this for too much more then, if that is the case, because what an absolute waste of time. I mean, it's great, it looks fine. Not all the weeds are coming out actually, now that I'm seeing that. Only some of them are. Okay, well, let's hang on a minute then. Let's look. Is there a category for... Is it spaders? No, that's a plough. Is there a category for hoes? No, I don't see one. Maybe it is in the weeder category. Weeders pull out small... Oh, it's different here. Ah, this is a hoe here. Ah, so this is... Why would I have that then? You can seed with that. Oh, I see. That's kind of interesting, I suppose. Well, that is extremely frustrating. I reckon that's just a waste of cash then, so I will... I mean... yeah, I think we're just going to have to spray herbicide, to be honest. Because if there's still weeds in the field, I mean, that just means that we're wasting our time. There must be a reason to do this weeding, this type of weeding. Perhaps it is a hoe that I need to use. I need to use the much more expensive implement, which is, again, very frustrating. I mean, I might as well clear out what I've got here since I have leased the item. But what is that about? Right, well, we don't have a sprayer, so that's frustrating. And herbicide's not cheap, but we have to get it done. Ah, well, I suppose that's alright for timing as well, if the helper is all done. Right, yeah, that is very disappointing. Unless I need to turn fold and lower. No, those are my only options. Well, that is very disappointing. I thought I was doing something good there, but unfortunately, it's a bloody waste of time. So, if someone can explain why I would choose to weed versus just spray herbicide at this point, I mean, other than the chemical compound of herbicide, but a weeder, it just seems like a bloody waste. Now, sprayers are very expensive. I might look at some modded options for the future. I would like to opt for this, to be honest, but again, £52,000 is just not realistic for us at all, for how little we'll have to weed. Right, well that, as I say, and will say again, very disappointing. I suppose maybe the shop will give us a deal on a sprayer then. Maybe they'll knock a few pound off for the absolute faff of leasing a weeder, but possibly they won't. We shall see. Right, well, I'm definitely not going to drive it to the shop. I'll have them come pick it up at least. So I'll just put it here for now, and we'll get it returned in a moment. Right, there we are. Let's leave that there. And we will head... Oh, I suppose we should head back to that other field. No, you know what we'll do? Let's get some liming done. I know it's raining, so maybe what we'll do... Tell you what, let's wait till the rain is done. I reckon it's going to be done any moment, because it should be done at 10. So let's just pop that to 10 times to get to 10 o'clock and see how that goes. Right, I can already see that the helper has not fully completed their task, but we will connect to this first. I'll get this limed and then I will get the baling completed. I suppose I could probably bale actually instead. Right, let's have a look at the helper here and see what's happened. Oh, nearly there. Brilliant, look at that. I definitely think that was worth doing it that way, getting a helper to do this task. And the mowing, actually, I've got pretty much contracted out the whole contract, but we'll still get the cash from it, the majority of it, even though we are leasing a couple bit of kit for that. What are you blocked? Oh right, just paying wages. That's not bad. It's pretty good, £131 per hour. Right, well the rain is continuing to fall when I fully thought it was not. Right, see, you can see the colour of the weeds have gone down. But yeah, I would love if someone would be able to explain that to me. I'm definitely going to lease a sprayer or a little buy one if we can get a very inexpensive one to start. Let's have a look at the forecast. Okay, so 11 is when we'll have some sun again. Then what I'll do is I will do a cheeky lime. It should be fine. If anything, it shouldn't wash away. But we'll do the baling once all of the rain has ceased. So we'll just get lined up very nicely here and we'll crack on to a cheeky time-lapse. Right, well, we are all out of lime now, which is unfortunate, of course. What I'll do is I will leave I might as well leave the whole operation here. What I'll do is I'm going to shut that down. I will take the weeder back to the shop, chat with them there, and again, perhaps they might be a bit forgiving and give us some money back for that, which would be lovely. As you can see, pH is perfect. Well, what we've done at least is perfect, so that's great. Right, we'll probably bring the Massey over, put the weeder onto our trailer, and then we'll take the lot down to the shop, pick up some more lime, and then we can crack on with the liming as well as the baling. Brilliant, thanks mate. Right, so RBM Agricultural is a brilliant shop. So they've taken the weeder back, they've actually given back the money and apologised for not explaining how it all works. Very top service here. They've also mentioned that being a John Deere dealership, they do have a bit of John Deere kit kicking around the back, and they happen to have a lovely sprayer just for us. Perfect. So we'll go all the way down here. So this will be the one we'll eventually upgrade to. However, the 250 sprayer is what the guy was on about. So I think this will be perfect for us. It is just about £6,000, which makes it a bit pricey, but it is something that we need, and yeah, it should be absolutely fantastic. And it should even fit on the trailer, he was saying as well, so we'll probably get that loaded on. I think everything is fine as is. We don't need anything too fancy or anything. The main colour here, what is that for the fiberglass colour? I kind of like that actually. Got that. We've got a black as well, and of course a white. I kind of like the fiberglass look there. That's brilliant. So 58.50, and we will purchase it. Now, of course, alongside that, we also have to purchase some herbicide. Now, do I have... Aha, I do. No, that's still the same price. I thought I had some smaller ones. I do not. Might be on another save. Nevertheless, we will purchase some herbicide as well. So this is 2,000 litres. It is fairly expensive as well, but this will last us a long, long time. Right, so now we're down so much money. Right, so the first thing we'll do is, I don't think that will fit onto the trailer, so we will get the trailer tucked away. Here, well, that's what we'll do very quickly. We will just get this parked to the side into their visitor parking. We will get the IBC loaded onto the trailer, so when we come back, we can just pick up the lot. Just get it tucked nice and out of the way. Just there, should be fine. Now we should be able to connect to this no problem and head back to the farm. As you can see, the sun is out now. It should be perfect opportunity for us to finish our liming, get the baling done. Oh, that's wonderful. So we'll get that filled up, and when we come back, they did say they would load it on to the trailer for us, which is absolutely brilliant of them. Very, very top service, as I've said before. Right, so we'll head back to the farm, and we can get things underway. Alright, so for now I will just tuck that there, just leave that there. We can just park this up out of the way for now. Alright, and we completely forgot to purchase lime at the shop. Absolutely silly monkey. Unbelievable. That was the main reason we went there, to be honest. Right, well, I guess we'll head back to the shop now. I just realised that as soon as we got back. Well, we do have to collect the trailer, so, and they'll probably have the herbicide loaded on by now, which is brilliant. So I guess we'll head back there and collect our lime. Oh, wicked. Look at that. Got the lovely herbicide tank on the back there. We'll just get all connected here. Get the trailer hooked up. Brilliant. And we will purchase 3 bags of lime. And that should be fine for our spreader. Blimey, we're down to £2,000 now. It has been, I mean, 30,000 of it is right there with the Land Rover and the trailer. But again, it has been a very useful piece of equipment, having a motor and a trailer like that. Right, so let's get the lime. There we go. Let's get that put onto the trailer, and then our JCB can remove it at the other end. Look at that. How perfect. How absolutely perfect is that? Right, we'll get this tucked away, and we'll see you back again, once again, at the farm. Alright, and we should be fine to park up right here, so we'll do that. Brilliant, we'll get the JCB, so we do have to load the bags into the spreader. Just tucked it away here. Now, looking at that pit, I really am considering purchasing some cows here in the next little bit. The problem is, we just need to make certain that we have money for all the cows that we want to purchase. So, and I'm not filling up the pen or the shed by any means. I'm maybe 5, maybe 10 calves. They will definitely be calves because we want to start as small as possible with them. So that would probably be what I would do. Opt for some calves, but we'll have to see. I mean, we do have the hay, we do have the silage, so we can get them 70% productive, but they really just need to grow once they're calves before they can actually do any sort of producing of anything. So I'm in no big rush for that, but it would be nice to have them sooner than later so they can start to grow, so that when we are ready for proper Holsteins, you know, milkers and that, then we're all ready, you know. So I've got the canola in the ground. There are a few options for their other food, like moisture and all that, but we shall see how it all goes. Look at that. Much better. Much better than just refilling with a button. And it looks better as well. Very nice. Right, we'll get that filled. Then we'll get this limed. After that, what I might do, it's a bit cheeky, but I might stick the drilling onto a helper. Now the reason I might do that is so that we can crack on with the baling of that field with the Ford, because we do want to get that contract complete, because we do need some money coming in. As soon as we do, as soon as we finish that contract, we should be getting about 18,000. Of course, any money that we've spent on helpers and that will have already been taken, so it will all be, or at least look like, all profit. I don't want to attach to that. But right, we will crack on first here with the liming, and once we're done that, then we will attach to... Well, we'll get attached to... Oh, I've already started that. We will attach to the seed drill so that we can get some alfalfa in the ground. And then I'll probably stick the seed drill on the Massey, get it on a helper. We can always clean up any bits that the helper might struggle with. But I really do want to get that contract complete, because I might consider taking on another contract. If we are to hire some sort of bale loader, it would be nice to use it more than once, just like I've done with the bale wrapper there as well, using it more than once, taking advantage of actually leasing it out. And it's all profit. I mean, even if we're using helpers for contracts, it is still a nice sum of money that comes in for us, so I think that might be the best option. But anyways, we'll crack on with this and get hooked up to the seed drill. Alright, so as I attach to my drill here, I need to go and find my other weight. The other one's with the baler in the other field. I'm seeing the cultivator there, which I do not think I will need for any sort of future endeavours. I reckon selling that might actually be a nice little income for us to have a bit of extra cash. I really can't see us needing... Where is my other weight? I know I had a sec... Ah, there it is. I can't really see us needing that cultivator anymore. All the fields we have we will be able to direct drill, and really, if we do need a cultivator for anything, I'm certain that we can lease one out for even less than, you know, that one would be worth. So I think that might be an option, and it would be nice to get it done this month before we lose more value on it as well. Right, so what I've decided, because I do not want the helper to go and destroy my rye crop, I'm going to go up and down here a few times, probably 3 at least, just so I can ensure that no rye is harmed in the making of this alfalfa. That would be terribly counterproductive, to say the very least. Right, we're at canola. Let's find... That's linseed. That should be alfalfa. I will confirm though. Yep, we are set. Oh wow, and it's the last month for it as well. So we can put rye and linseed up until November. Grass as well. Oh, and our other crops. But yeah, that's perfect then. Perfect time to drill that. And then the field beans will be in March, so that's also very good. Right, so if we do cut off a bit of the rye, I suppose it's not the end of the world, but it would be nice to not. Ah, so that is unfortunate, actually. I was very, very mistaken. Literally, we were just talking about how I'm going to sell my cultivator, and look at what's happened. We actually need it. Right, so I was under the impression that once this is a field state, because it looks like a field now. Well, it looks like grass, really. But yeah, it does actually have to be cultivated. Right, that's not bad. At least we have the cultivator still. We didn't sell it now. Could you imagine if I had just sold it and then found out, oh, you need it, mate, you need it? That would be embarrassing. So we will go connect to the cultivator and do that instead. Alright, we are back with the cultivator. Now we'll try and get as close to this as possible. Again, the main reason being is that if we do sell the cultivator in the future, it might be a bit cheeky, but I think I might have to take a small section off of the rye just to ensure that I get the whole thing done. I don't want to have a small strip of area that I can't drill because I didn't properly cultivate it. So I know this might be a bit annoying. It is for me, certainly, but I should have made this more straight on before. I will confirm that it's all good before we get it, before we start the drilling. But it's just a bit off of the rye. Not hardly anything, really. Now, we will... Right, I do want to get this very small section. Now, it shouldn't take the grass, but I do want to get that bit of area that's not drilled with rye. Again, even if it is a small section of rye that goes missing, it's not the end of the world. Right, okay, let's have a look at that. Right, that's kind of hard to tell. It looks good though. I think that's fine actually. If worst case, I'll just go a tiny bit more just to ensure that it is all done, because then after that we can sell the cultivator, because every other field that we would purchase, save for... No, nothing. Unless we get something like this or that. Right, this area here would need to be cultivated, but every other field that we would look at purchasing can be just direct drilled, which is absolutely brilliant. So, I'll do a headland, and then I'll go up that side near the rye more than one time. More than twice, probably thrice, to be honest, because I do not want... Oh, could you imagine if the helper were to take out my whole rye crop? I suppose it wouldn't be the worst thing, because we do need the alfalfa, but that would be a bit unfortunate. A waste of rye, if I do say so myself. Right, we'll crack on with the headland here, and then I can set it on a helper, and then we can crack on with baling. Alright, well as you can see we are making some very good progress here on the bales, and I haven't checked yet how many we have, but now I am curious just because I said something. We're at 23, I can't remember exactly how many I said. Did I say 24, 25, something like that? I can't remember, but we'll definitely have more than that. Very much more than that, really. So what I'm going to do is I will crack on with the baling off camera, just because we've done loads of it in the last little bit, and there might be some more baling contracts in the future, to be honest, because it is good money, and as I've said, I will be hiring this loader, and I might as well use it. I have found a cheaper alternative. It might mean that we have more trips to make down to the BGA, but that is fine as well, because it is going to save us a few quid in the long run, which is really nice. So I will crack on with this, but before I do, I'll just lower that down, get these last little bits here. So yes, I will finish up this field baling off camera, but I do want to have a look at the helper. Oh, we've passed it. It's doing alright. A few missed bits here and there. Let's have a look at the actual land area. Can't see them there, but we will go and clean those up. This is definitely taking some time. I'm glad. Cultivating it just does take time, right? It's like ploughing as well, especially at 3 meters. But the helper is cracking on very well, and it's very clean. The drilling and the rolling all have to get done in this month. The fertilizing can be done in the next, but we won't worry about that just yet. For now, I will finish up the baling, and then once we're done, we'll see how far the helper's got. Okay, we are heading back now to the farm. We did manage to get a fair amount of baling completed as well. Have a quick check. 35 bales. That is rather impressive. The loader in question, so the one that I was looking at initially, the base game one, is can hold 24 bales. Now I have found another loader, and I have used it in the past, I believe. Not in a series, but I have used it in the past. It holds 8. So that would mean that there's a few trips to make once we get the bales all wrapped up. The nice thing about that, though, is that even though it only holds 8, we might actually just be able to keep. It'll be easier to keep track of those that we can keep, if that makes any sense at all. But right, for now, we will just tuck the baler away. I'll just tuck it in front of the mower, I suppose. It's fine here, because we do have to. We can just leave that there as well. Here, let's check on the helper. How are they getting on? Hey, that's pretty good. That's rather impressive. Right, well, while they finish up the cultivating, which is nearly done, we will hop into the JCB, and we'll connect to the wrapper that we have on lease, and we'll get all those bales wrapped up, because that is for the contract. So we'll just confirm everything contract-wise. As you can see, we have all the field progress done, but we haven't delivered anything. So, and it's very good profit per minute, even though it's taken a while. It's totally fine, absolutely fine. So when we do lease this this bale loader, it will really make things 1,000 times easier for us to obviously transport bales versus loading them ourselves, because it will automatically stack them. Not load them, not auto load, but auto stack. Oh right, we should probably put this on the other side of the wrapper. I suppose we're keeping implements here, it would seem. Now I can't forget that I have this here. I suppose can't really forget. See, does it disappear? No, it's visible. It's fine. Right, we'll get this hooked up and we'll see you in the bale field. Alright, well this is going to be a bit of a task, absolutely. But the nice thing is we just have to wrap them and we don't have to worry about actually loading them anywhere, which is a very nice part about this. It will take some time, I reckon, but it should be absolutely fine. We do have auto drop enabled, so that it should just drop them, and we can move away and crack on to the next bale. So we will get straight into a time-lapse to do this. I don't know if I'll time-lapse the whole thing. It depends on how long it takes, really. But that's 1.5 done already, so that's a good start. But what I will do is I'll keep a very close eye on the helper, so that as soon as they're done doing what they're doing, I will hop into the Massey and I'll get all the missed bits unmissed, I guess. I'll get them cultivated, and then we'll stick the seed drill on the Massey, and I'll probably do a headland, especially near where the rye is, just in case. I don't want to run into any sort of issues with overlapping crops or anything, and then we can let the helper carry on. But as you can see in the forecast there, we do have rain approaching. Now I should probably very quickly check. Let me just get this started, this one here, and I'll see when that is meant to arrive. Right, 5 PM. So we've got time we should have enough time to drill and then possibly roll as well before the rain does come. Now, whether or not that's in this episode remains to be seen. I think what we'll do is we'll finish up the wrapping. We'll get that done. We'll ensure that everything is nicely cultivated, and then in the next episode is when we can get all of the field there and the field here done. But for now, we'll crack on with wrapping. Alright, so now that we have the ground all cultivated and ready for drilling, putting this in should allow us to put a crop in. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic, that is. And it does seem to be working nicely. So my plan, I probably won't do a full headland. I will just go ahead and get this side done because, well, again, I just don't want the helper to go more into this crop than necessary. Let's get this done as well. Brilliant. And yes, we'll just go up and down here a couple of times just to get things cracking. Oh, I've turned off the seed drill. That's no good. Again, counterproductive indeed. Okay. Oh, struggles a bit going up the hill there. Definitely a good thing we had this on the Massey. Right, that is very slow indeed. It's alright though, we just have to go up and we'll come back down one more time and then we can set it off on a helper again, and we can always touch up little bits here and there. My plan is to allow the helper to do as much of the drilling as possible, and then I will focus on the bale wrapping. Now I'll probably do most of the rest of the wrapping off camera, perhaps a bit of a montage or a yeah, little jump cuts here and there, just to allow us to complete it, because also we did do our own field with silage bale wrapping before as well, so we did get some of that in view. But I just want to get this last row down done, and then we can have a look at what we're actually drilling in. Not that I doubt that it's alfalfa, but I just want to have a look at the map and see what we've done. That looks fantastic, so I assume that's the nice bright green of alfalfa, and it's looking very happy indeed. This will be a very interesting area. We've literally created, just from the grassy area, 3 fairly sized fields. One that's, I mean, they're bigger than the ones we started with, really. But right, we will stick the helper on that, and we'll head over to the JCB and crack on with the bale wrapping. And here we have now our very last bale to wrap. Look at that, 34.5 bales all wrapped up. I will do a quick peruse, make certain that all of them are in fact fully wrapped and ready to go. But that is the last one. There we go. Alright, and we're making really good time as well. I was expecting that to take a lot longer than it did, but once I got cracking on with it, it didn't take all that long. And fret not, we will do more bale wrapping in the future, but I just wanted to get this contract at least underway and, well, virtually finished. But we haven't even begun the delivery process, but that is what is next. Let's have a very quick look, run through the hedge here. Right, so there's a bit missed there. Ooh, nitrogen is all perfect as well. Is that because... Ah, you know why? It's because I let the grass grow back. That's why I had to cultivate as well, because the grass was already growing back. Had I... So that's kind of the trade-off, I suppose. You either let the grass grow back, and then you have to cultivate it, but you do get full nitrogen, or... I'm certain that's how it was, or you actually have to fertilize after the fact. But nevertheless, I would say that the helper has been getting on really, really well. I'm very, very impressed with that. And definitely worth the money as well. As you can see, the money has slowly been going down and down and down. Nevertheless, this is going to be the end of the episode. There has been lots on. This has been an action-packed episode of Court Farm, no doubt about it. We will wrap up October in the next episode, so that will include finishing up the contract, delivering all the bales, finishing up our arable here. We'll get the last bit of crop drilled in, the last bit of the alfalfa. We also have to ensure that the field is rolled before we move on to November. But other than that, I think that's it for October. Bales delivered and alfalfa drilled, and then it's happy days and we can move on from there. Right, well, thank you so much for watching, and if you did enjoy the episode, a cheeky thumbs up really does help out the channel, and I greatly appreciate it. And until the next one, please do take care, and bye for now.